eyes are coming.
What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? It is your boy MM2K back again with another episode of PrognosisTV. All right, this ain't a lyrics to go or anything like that. For those of you that are Patreon members, y'all all know what that's about. And if you want to become a Patreon member, or if you want to become a sure shot member of Stadia, Dosage News, click the join button below, or go to www.patreon.com/PNTS network. And we suggest right now, we got other hubs up, but they're only shell hubs right now. We only suggest the main hub, which is $1 entry, or the Stadia Dosage War Room hub, which is a $3 entry. Those will get you access to our normal Prognosis TV platform in our content. But with that said, let me do this real quick. No, you know what? I'm not going to tweet this out. I'll just leave this out here because it's going to be a real quick video because I got to do something in like 30 minutes. I got another obligation, so I got to like cut this off in 30 minutes. If you could, though, tweet this out, let everybody know that we're live. I'm going to do this as well. Hold on. Twitter. And I want to say, quick, Frank, let me see. Come on. YouTube really sucked this morning. While I'm doing this, I want to announce this as well. We did a video with our good friend Dark1985. He is an Xbox content creator. And what we did is via our new initiative, we call it the, we call it the SDO Stadia Challenge. We sent him a free YouTube Premiere bundle. We gave him a code to get a game, or we gave him credit to get a game rather, and he's enjoying it. He's loving it, and now he's like, I can't even play xCloud anymore. So the purpose of that was not to say Stadia is the best and everybody has to bow down to it and all that other stuff. It's to educate those that have platforms that may not be aware, to make them aware of what Stadia is about. And I think at the heart, so it's a great video. I've been plugging it a lot. Definitely check me out on Twitter. I'll try to plug it again before the end of this show, but again, I only got limited time, so there's no guarantee. But here, let me do this. Join us for a quick but frank discussion on Stadia community. And the reason why I got to do this now is because Sundays aren't good for me. That's why you guys don't see me creating content on Sundays. It's just not good for me. Now, why didn't that carry over? See? I already did that, so I don't need to do that again there, but I will sit it out here. So I think in that video was at the heart of, is also at the heart of what I think is at the problem here within the Stadia community. People just want an even playing field when it comes to the discussions when you're talking about all these platforms. And we'll get into that, why it feels very lopsided. And when you don't, and when you're, and when the cascading doesn't equal the representation, then you run into a problem. Like, let me give you an example. I have dairy allergies, right? I have dairy allergies, and I go through this with my family all the time, and my wife's family. And my wife has allergies too, to where she has to be full vegan. I can still eat meat. It's a weird, they try to call it a disease. They call everything a disease now. I don't even label it that. It's just a weird allergy. to where I can eat animal meat, but I can't eat animal protein product, meaning milk or I can't even eat honey, and because they consider that like an animal protein product. So I can't have milk, cheese, yogurt, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That's derived from an animal. Okay. Animal saliva breaks me out and makes me close up makes my nose close up, all this weird stuff, right? So I have to have like a half vegan diet where I'm kind of like on this, what do they call it, Piscatalian thing. I've been eating a lot of salmon recently. And then I eat a lot of, vegan stuff, right? Because of my allergy to, vegan cheese and whatever. Okay. So to get to the point, so that's me and my wife. When you combine our family together, like we're going to have a family reunion soon. When you combine our just our immediate family together, we're talking well over 100 people just in the city of Pittsburgh alone, right? And there's probably way more than that. There's probably another 50 that just are on the outskirts doing whatever they're doing, locked up on the run, or in the city that just won't make it. But there's 100 of us right now. Okay. Me and my wife just booked the place at a national park, and we're buying food and all this other stuff to supplement this. Okay. So out of those 100 people, between me and my wife, I don't know anybody else. And these are people that I know personally. Kids, parents, I don't know anybody else except for me and my wife and my brother-in-law who's dabbling in it that cares about anything vegan. Right? So if out of the 100 people, me and my wife show up and we start serving vegan food, we're going to get a backlash because they're like, hold on. We get that you are vegan. We get that you feel this way, but the rest of us don't feel this way. And this food that you brought doesn't represent our feelings. So why is this even here? And I think that's the problem that we're running into with why there's such a backlash. And I know sometimes we want to try to get in the middle of it. I've tried to as well. My brother did an excellent video earlier. I urge you to watch it. My brother Phantom, UFC Chase, he did a great, he came off his vacation from relaxing and having his mocha latte, kicking back, and he came back and he did it. But I think this is just something that we're going to have to let play out. You can't have cascading without representation. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is you're seeing a backlash because when it comes to the news, not opinion, the news, people are talking in absolutes about Stadia doom and gloom. Certain news stories aren't being reported. They're being missed or just overlooked. All the other cloud platforms are being put on a pedestal, and Stadia is being dogged out when it comes to these hubs. Not all of them, but a good number of the hubs that claim to be reporting news. When you run into that situation, but the majority of the people that news is cascading to don't feel that way, you're going to get a backlash. It's like the 60s, y'all. If y'all don't, I'm old. I'm telling my age here, which I wasn't born in the 60s. I'm not that damn old. I ain't Ice-T old. Shout out to Ice-T, original gangster. But I'm old enough to know and have people have this conversation about this transition. Back in the 60s, sooner or later, shows like Dick Van Dyke and all those other shows got tossed to the wayside because in the late 60s, people were like, hold on. Why are they showing married people sleeping in separate bedrooms? That's not what we do. Why is this representation of the American family so much unlike the American family? And they started rejecting those shows because what was being projected or cascaded down to those people didn't apply to what they related to. So what I'm saying is that at the crux of this is news reporting, journalism, talking in absolutes about a product that people don't see it that way. And said outlets, what happens is when said outlets get questioned, I'd say, hold on. When you say something like Stadia is going to die in a week, What compounding information do you have to support that? Oh, no, that's just how I feel. That's how I feel. And so the response then, again, and I'm not saying anybody in the community is done, but the intelligent wing of the community that does the pushback, that does the due diligence and kick the tires, who I don't call toxic. And I'm not saying they are being called toxic, but I just want to define those people that are pushing back, that are not attacking people individually, DDoSing them and doing crazy stuff like that, going into emails and all. There's crazy stuff going on, y'all. So legitimately, yes, there's toxic stuff going on. But I just want to make it clear that as far as I'm concerned, I don't call toxicity people that push back and question to say, like, where is this legitimately coming from? Like, let me give you a prime example. My good brother and my spiritual advisor, Clive Linden, of all things Stadia, in a very respectful but diligent manner, he's called out my other brother, one who supported me from the beginning, Duncan, and said, Duncan, you said Stadia is going to die in 6 months. You said it in so much absolutist terms. And look, like I tell y'all, that stuff cascades. When Duncan went on live and said that, agree with him or not, he's allowed to have his opinion. But I swear to you, I swear on my life, that big time YouTubers were sending me DMs with him saying that. And they said, look, this is a Stadia guy that knows all about Stadia. He has an outlet. Apparently he knows something, and you're just in denial, MM2K. Now, again, I'm not saying that to say that my brother can't share his opinions, but what my brother Clive Linden was pointing out to is that when you talk in absolutist terms, and you don't have the backup for it, it's just your opinion, but you didn't phrase it that way. When people kick the tires and the tire fizzles, you can't be too shocked at a backlash. I'm not talking about toxicity. There's a difference between a backlash and toxicity. When people call you out and say, hey, MM2K, why? Let me give you a prime example. There's a content creator and a YouTube personality several months ago that called me out because I said that Jack Buser was, that when Jack Buser did the IGN interview, he said that, hey, he just wanted people, basically people are to try it, and if they didn't like it, they're okay, like the first few years of the data collection phase, and then after the first few years, then they're looking to do a big push forward, right? So they challenged me on that. Now, what I was doing is I was paraphrasing, but I never said word for word, but I get where they were challenging me. So they challenged me on it. They said, hold on. Here goes a clip from IGN. Jack Buser never said that. MM2K, you a fraud, had laugh emojis and everything. But see, even when I'm paraphrasing, I always have the legitimate backup in my back pocket. So I said, boop, bada boom, bada bing, boop, boop, boop. Oh no, we ain't gonna play this game. I was paraphrasing. We ain't gonna play semantics. I was paraphrasing. And here's what he said via IGN and the interview and where that was derived from. After that, crickets and silence. You're gonna get pushback, and you're gonna get pushback when you make lofty claims and people haven't seen the backup for it. That's gonna happen. That's completely different from toxicity. Toxicity is when, MM2K, your breath stinks. It smells like halitosis, and you're a jackass. And I heard that you ain't allowed within 5 minutes of a park with children in it. That's or de-doxing me and stuff like that, calling me names, calling me out my name. I've been attacked before, like just not too long ago. I was attacked. No. I'm always attacked, honestly, but it don't bother me. Like I said, I come from Fight Club. I come from the crumb side. Broadband bullies. I put videos out there, and trust me, if you think this stuff is dramatic, it ain't nothing in comparison to what happens with the broadband bullies. Watch a broadband bully video and realize that this ain't nothing but a Tuesday to MM2K. but the truth has to be told. So, yeah, people attack me all the time. They come in my DMs and attack me all the time. Say stuff to me in my videos all the time. I've even had one person tell me, oh my goodness, which this was crazy. And I thought they were joking, but they were dead ass serious. They said, I hope you defend your people like this. I said, defend my people? What you talking about? Oh yeah, there's people, your people out here dying. I said, what? I said, because I made a pro Stadia video, this fool now want to see my taxes? He want to see if I'm donating to this cause and that. I said, man, if you don't get your janky behind out of here, I get all types of crazy stuff. But that's par for the course because I'm out here making lofty comments. I'll say they're lofty, but in my case, and I'm not saying in no one else's case, I can just speak for my case. In my case, I make sure that before I hit send, there is backup to everything that I say. That's just a knee-jerk reaction for me. I've dealt with legal issues, court hearings. Like when I get beyond my tenure with the company that I'm affiliated with right now, and y'all can know my real name, it ain't no thing to me. You'll see that I've been in court, $1 million court cases and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So, look, and I'm not saying that to try to be any type of braggadocious. I'm just putting that out there to let everybody know that I have been in a situation to where you cannot say anything. In order to feed my family, whatever I said had to be solid tight. Because of the line of work that I did. So it's just knee-jerk reaction. So I normally don't mind when people come at me. The only things that I mind is when people come at me with innuendo or conjecture, and meanwhile I'm having a debate about facts, and you're wasting my time with your conjecture and your opinions when I'm speaking facts. You're taking away valuable time that I could be using talking to the community and educating the community on something. But I don't mind when people come at me because I know that the stuff that I put out there is this is social media. This is par for the course. When I put stuff out there that's like a powder keg versus a lot of people's opinions, AKA even liking Stadia or playing on Stadia, that I'm going to get a strong reaction back. And as long as the strong reaction isn't disrespectful, like someone challenging you just ain't disrespectful. When a reaction isn't disrespectful, like, oh, they're making unsubstantiated claims about what you're doing, or they're calling you out of your name, that's going to be par for the course. So I will say this in that regards to the actual toxicity or people. I'm not going to get too far into it because my good brother entrusted me with some stuff, and he don't want a pity party. My brother Duncan don't want a pity party, because if he did, he would have made this public. But there's a lot of things that people or groups have done to Duncan that is outright despicable and abhorrent. And to Chase's point earlier, I totally agree. That stuff needs to stop. There is just something, if I told y'all what happened, y'all jaws would drop. Like, what the hell? This is just video games. Yeah, my brother has been through some stuff, and it needs to stop. That, absolutely. And that's for anybody. When it happens to anybody. That type of, I don't want to say it, but going beyond the pale because you don't like somebody's opinion and sabotaging and doing things. Y'all, those that are guilty know what the hell I'm talking about. There is never an excuse for that at all. And you got to reevaluate your life if that's how you want to handle things. You really got to reevaluate your life. Things are getting too far along if that's the way that you want to handle someone having a difference of opinion from you. All right? So I'll just leave it at that. And I also don't, and then so to the more non-toxic part of it, where, yeah, I've seen some people say some harsh and critical things about Duncan that, again, yeah, borderline toxic And I'm not addressing that. I'm talking about the people that are pushing back and they're laying this all on the lap of Duncan. I don't think that's fair. I'm going to just say, I ain't going to call it talk. I'm going to say it's not fair. Duncan is just the loudest mouthpiece of an entire sector that feels the exact same way that he do. And they feel that they're right. That's all. Just like we feel that we're right. He's just the loudest mouthpiece about it. And you got to applaud him for at least being honest and being transparent about how he feels. He's not hiding it or sugarcoating it or making excuses for it. The only thing that I will say in contrast, in alignment with my brother Clive, is that perception is 9/10 of the law. So when you're out here making lofty claims, you got to have backup to it. Like when them same people that took the clip of Duncan, these are big time YouTubers. I'm talking about YouTubers that are making close to 6 figures doing this. I'm in DMs with them. They literally chopped up his video of him making these claims and said, oh, this is the guy that da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. He said this. He said this. And it sounds like he was absolute in his talk when he said that. So when something happens and the complete opposite happens, that can stain your credibility. I've never said it that raw before, but I'm saying it now. That's my concern. Because while we're in our little cloud bubble, this little back and these little puny, I'm going to be honest with you, they're puny. These little puny back and forths that we have here, they're puny in comparison to mainstream gaming. Y'all ain't seen ish yet. This is puny. These little puny back and forths that we have here. My brother Cold Blood Sensei is in the chat with his smart ass. He can tell you this is nothing. These little puny back and forths that we have here. That when said cloud platforms, whoever make it, and if it's the ones that we like or if we just like it in general, when those get to the main stage, you got the Porter Rocks, you got the J-Dubs, you got the Tim Dogs waiting out there for you, the Showstoppers, and they are going to eat y'all asses alive. I swear. They're going to eat y'all alive. So me knowing that, that's why I bring up what I bring up. Whoa. Make sure that you don't make it a habit of yours to talk knee-jerk and in an absolutist form about said product or said service. Because if you're totally wrong, that's not something you can just brush off. Make sure you're smarter about it. Throwing them, in my opinion, or I think, in there. It's not worth trying to submit what you're saying that much and talking in absolutist terms about it to risk being totally wrong. That stuff sticks with you. I've seen many of content creators, many of people that were trying to uproot publications. I'm not going to name any names. Many of them on the big stage in the last 3 years who did exactly that, spoke in absolutist terms and got eaten alive, and everything that they tried to do was sent to a grounding halt. So what I'm doing is I'm tornado watching and warning. But I can't make people listen to me because they're grown. Y'all do whatever the hell y'all want to do. So that's why I said at the end of the day, I think we just got to let this play out. I'm not going to lecture anybody except for telling y'all don't do that abhorrent DDoS and stuff and that crazy stuff that y'all were doing. And y'all, those that are guilty of it, y'all know who I'm talking about. That's abhorrent. But opposite of that, it just plays out the way that it plays out because it just needs to play out. But I don't think it's fair putting it all in the lap beyond the toxicity. I don't think it's fair putting it in the lap of Duncan. He's just the loudest mouthpiece. that believes that. It's just that my caution to that wing as I caution my wing is don't talk in absolutist terms. We don't know if Stadia is going to be around forever. They could have every single intent to be around and could fail miserably, and they had no other choice but to bow out. And on the flip side of that, nobody knows if Stadia is closing. Day after day, time after time, as evidence keeps dropping out, it looks like that they're not closing. We got an event starting at 7 p.m. today, the Stadia Play Jam, that's bringing in new development. So every day that we sit there and we talk in these absolutist terms like, oh, things are waffly for Stadia, something else just proves that wrong. But the fact of the matter is none of us are in the boardrooms, none of us know. So there is this absolutist talk that is knee-jerk in this community right now because it's so young. But I'm telling y'all, I'm trying to warn y'all. I'm going to just put it out there. I ain't trying to make it seem like I'm the all-seeing eye, but I'm warning y'all, damn it. Clip this. That whenever this does hit the main stage, y'all are going to be eaten alive. Eaten alive. There's already people, again, that took that emergency podcast that we had. They were shooting me clips left and right. This guy is part of this, that, and he got it. There's something that he knows. And maybe there is something that he knows. And why he said that. I would hope so. But you're going to get pushback if you speak in these lofty terms, and I do, but you speak in these lofty terms without backup, you're going to get pushback. That's not toxicity. And I want to say this as well, again, to what I was saying in the bumper. The problem is that the overwhelming majority of the cloud news doesn't represent the overwhelming majority of the cloud community. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. When you look at news as of late, when you look at content as of late, it's doom and there's a lot of doom and gloom from publications and stuff like that about Stadia. Everything else is okay. It's it's good. It's okay. Oh, Stadia. No, Stadia only got 3 weeks to get it together or they're dead. But when you look at the majority of the cloud community, and I'll call out names here. When you look at a Nerd Nest, a Sonny the Cloud of Games, a Bryant Chappelle, a Generation Stadia, you know what I'm saying? When you look at the larger channels that represent cloud gaming in totality, the overwhelming majority of those content creators are positive about Stadia. They're positive about them. The largest channels out there, with exception to one, maybe, they're positive about Stadia. So if the largest sector of the cloud gaming community is positive about Stadia, but yet the news, the people that are responsible for the news that is cascading down, is negative about Stadia, what else do you expect? And I'm making that argument not saying that one side is right and the other side is wrong. Just because you have a group of people that believe one thing and they're larger in numbers doesn't mean that they're necessarily right. Like most people that are in gaming that heard of Stadia so far to this point believe it doesn't work. It's the worst performing, all this crazy stuff. The minority of us know better because we have it in our hands. So it is possible that the minority of people are the right ones. So to test if that's the possibility, what the majority does is they go to that minority and they say, hey, yo. Now, from everything that I've seen, it don't look that way. What evidence do you have to back up your claims? And I gotta be honest. We're allowed to have it. We're allowed to showcase it. It's a God-given right. Well, it's a given right. God ain't got nothing to do with this. It's a given right for a lot of us to portray it. But the answer is a lot of conjecture. Like I got into a conversation last night on Twitter. Shout out to, I think his name is Gamer Life TV. Shout out to him, right? And I don't mean this in a negative way. I mean it in a facetious way. I mean this in a positive way. But the conversation was headed on the path of Stadia got to do something right now. Stadia got to do this right now because the big wigs, you know, they get antsy, and Stadia got to do something right now. Now, I'm not on the level of a Phil Harris or anything like that, but someone who has managed managers, been in the boardroom, talked and had to worry about the investments of the company for our sector and all that other stuff, right? I can tell you right now, because I understand Google's portfolio and the situation that they're in. Google really can't afford long-term to get out of gaming. Now, does that necessarily mean that they're going to be successful? But no, Google cannot afford to get out of gaming. And if your market analysis of what Google does is based off of Google Graveyard, because they like to split things up and merge it together, that's not a fathomable litmus. Like, may we possibly see Stadia become YouTube gaming? Possibly. But if the tech is still there and you're playing AAA games or AA games or whatever the case may be, if you can still play the way in the fashion that you're playing now with just a different name, what's the difference? Right? So I was going back and forth, and I'm like, look, why are you saying in definitive terms that Stadia has to do something right now when everybody else doesn't? Well, there's suits and all, and I put out there and I said, look, brother, based off of these facts, they can't get out of gaming. Well, that's where I agree. We agree right there. You see what I'm saying? Like, why are we, when we talk in absolutist terms, and I'm not saying he's wrong, I'm just saying neither one of us knows. So when we talk in these absolutist terms and these absolutist ways, and people push back and say, hold on, why do you talk about this so confidently? Where is your evidence? Where's your backup? And you provide none. The majority of the community, which represents the side that doesn't agree with you, is going to push back. And that's what you're seeing right now. That's what you're seeing right now. You see the news that's being cascaded down not match the conception of the consumer. The consumer pushing back and saying, where are y'all getting this from? And them not getting evidence. Just hypotheticals, not evidence, to support their claims. Now, I'm not saying that the other side has evidence to fully support their claims. I think they have more evidence, but I'm not saying that they got solid 100% evidence to support their claims. But if any side is going to talk absolutist, you got to have evidence, or they're going to pull your card. It's as simple as that. So that's all I got to say about the matter. No. I got one more thing to say. My good brother, I think there's a little bit of confusion between the attempts of my good brother and Now Your Mama Knows. And I want to speak on that just personally, my opinion, because something that I've created and gifted to him, I think is getting caught up in this erroneously because it's being misunderstood. I think in large part people understand where the heart of this campaign was, but some people misunderstand. So, I don't mind. I'm already live. Let me clarify it for those that don't understand. So my good brother, Now Your Mama Knows, said, look, we got a lot of people talking about Google, And they're talking about Google like they got a lot of evidence. Like they know the truth. So I want you to sit in front of me and tell me the truth. Whether it's positive about Google or negative about Google. I want you to tell me what this truth is, this absolutist truth that you have. Because we at SBCN, and I've endorsed them, and they put me to shame with gaming. I'm one of the people that do a lot of talking, and y'all don't see all my gaming all the time. A lot of it's because y'all won't subscribe to Stadia streams, goddammit. No, but Stadia Dosage streams. But y'all see me doing a lot more talking as of late than y'all see me doing gaming. So it applies to me too. That he's saying, look, instead of doing all this talking and arguing and going back and forth, let's just shut up and boot up. Let's play some damn games. Let's not do all this back and forth and talk like we the experts in the boardroom when it's all conjecture and opinion. Let's just shut up and boot up. And I'm the one that came up with that mantra, and I gifted it to SBCN. It's theirs. Because I love the fact that when all this crazy stuff is going on, and I have situations where I got to push back to people and say, where the hell did y'all come from with this? That I could just say, you know what, this is getting too much. And people are just giving me conjecture and they're wasting my time. I just want to play some games, or if I can't play right now, at least, be in a community where they're just playing the damn games and they're enjoying the platform. And that's what SBCN does. So shout out to them. Nothing against them at all. So I just want to make sure that's clear in the air. And I don't need to speak for Cowboy. Cowboy is crazy his damn self. He don't need me to speak for him. But I just wanted to clear the air on that. The shut up and boot up campaign means, look, let's stop the bickering, let's stop the arguing, let's just boot up some games. Just so we're all clear. Okay? So, with that said, that's all I got to say. I'm going to go through the chat because, like I said, I only got I'm over time. Jesus Christ. All right, we got Happy Cloud Gamer. In the house, he says, in all societies, most start very well, but then the personal opinions come from the respective opinions of others, and it happens. Yeah, exactly, Happy Cloud Gamer. You got HCG, you're absolutely right. Cold Blood says, Mose, you really need to stop spamming content and actually play games. Stadia has nothing worth talking about right now. Your best chance to play the games you cap about. Shut your butt up. Ralph, Mr. 1030 said, MM2K is nailing it, or their feelings change, or whatever reason of the reporting changes. Daz and Deanie in the house. What's up, Daz? Long time no see. Good to see you, brother. He says, I play all platforms. Stadia is definitely one of them. Listening to all these guys blab BS about things no one knows about, especially Stadia, I couldn't give a shoot. Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem in a nutshell. Like, I love my brother Duncan. I hate throwing Clive's name in this. I think Clive put this beautifully. Duncan has been one of the original supporters when nobody was watching this platform. It's just, my opinion is, when you talk in absolutist terms, people are using this stuff. This is going to come back to bite people if you're well off. So just be very cautious on how you break this down. Now, he may look at that and say, I don't give a damn. Who cares? I'm going to say it the way I want to say it, MM2K, and that's fine. He has every right to do that. But I'm just warning folks, because I think a lot of folks don't understand the complexity about what they're stepping into. I think a lot of people in this community have not been exposed to how the big stage of the social community works on that front. Y'all don't understand how it works. They come for that ass and they will shut you down. Now, if you don't care, you don't care. That's fine. That's your right. And who am I to tell you what to do? It's just a warning. But at the same time, when the product doesn't represent the mind state of the people are going to push back. That's it. So this just has to play out the way it's going to play out. I want to say this too, not to be mean because I gotta go. Shout out to the homies at Cloud Gaming Extreme. Love those guys. Asa Marchief, they've been nothing but supportive of this platform, supportive of your boy. We've talked behind the scenes, tried to work and get me on the platform and them come here. It's always been my fault. I got crazy wild schedules and things just couldn't work out. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them. They do some great work. They do some great stuff. Do I always agree with their opinions? No, but hey, whatever. I wouldn't want to be in a world where it's filled with nothing but MM2Ks. Your eardrums will be busted and bleeding. But what I'm saying, y'all, is that on the show last night, which I think kind of sparked a lot of this, which again, it isn't. See, here's what happened. I'm going to just put it out there. Duncan, which Duncan for most cases don't care. When Duncan feels that there's blowback to him, he'll get out in front of it and be like, I get it. Y'all don't like me? Okay, I'm still here. Well, y'all don't like what I have to say? I'm still here. So Duncan put out a tweet. The unbiased cloud platform is coming out there. Now, I don't want to say this backfired, but there was just irony to that. Because when you did go in the chat, all of the crazy, I gotta be honest, all of the crazy people that either been DMing me, putting crazy comments in my videos and elsewhere were all there for the most part. I won't say all. I won't speak absolutist and say all, but a very large number of them were in that chat and we're just talking mad stuff. I ain't gonna say toxic, but I'm gonna say they were talking mad stuff on Stadia. It seemed like a Stadia RIP chat. And I said, this is, because I didn't know where all these crazy people came from. They just started popping up like over the last few weeks. They've been getting more and more intense and more extreme. I think it's funny because I love clowning them too. You just go check my comment section of my videos when they're making stuff in my videos, but then they DM me too, right? And I'm like, where did all these crazy mugs come from? At first I thought they were Young Ye's people, but I was like, no. And then I go into the Cloud Gaming Extremes chat and I see them all there. I was like, what? So sometimes when you try to jump in front of stuff, I don't want to say it backfires, but it causes irony. And I think it's safe to say that a good portion of the panel may feel in absolutist terms that Stadia is in a bad way. And they're entitled to have that opinion. But again, when the community that you're looking to serve, in most part, don't agree with that, this is what happens. So maybe the best thing is not to like nitpick back, you know what I'm saying, and get in front of them, but do some ask for some insight. What is it that you would like to see us do, being that you guys feel this way? And then take a look at the answers that you get back. And then say, okay, we're willing to, you know what, that's a great point, we're willing to do that. Or you could just simply say, you know what, nope, that's going to too much compromise what this platform is about. We can't do that. We'll just continue as is. But I think that's the right way to move forward. Because look, perception is 9/10 of the law, and there's a reason why. I told y'all we're going to have a frank discussion, but I got to go. There's a reason why all of those negative naysayers, a good portion of them that call themselves harassing me, there's a reason why they was in that chat yesterday. It was like they was at home, whether that was y'all's intent or not. Something to think about. And to answer a question that y'all asked, no, you don't have to kick people out of the chat for expressing their opinion. I don't. That's why my brother Cold Blood Sensei, Am, and all them are here. But my chat is a reflection of what people feel. My chat is a reflection in totality about my content. And when it comes to YouTube chats, they either come for one or two things. And I've learned this over the 3 years that I've been doing this. They either come because they love to hate your content, or they come because they feel like they're at home. And when I tell you, and I've had run into situations where people that have done abhorrent things felt like they were at home at my platform, and I've had to boot them out. And I've had to re-solidify, hey, look, I'm not about this. If y'all thought that the MM2K channel was about this, I'm here to let y'all know. And then the rest of them left before I booted their ass out too. Now, I'm not saying that's what people got to do. You do whatever you want. It's your platform. You got the freedom to do what you want and create the content that you want. And if people don't like it, so what? They can watch something else. But at the same token, if those people aren't there to argue with you, and they're there and they feel comfortable, it's because they feel like they're at home. And there's no getting around that. I'm sorry. So with that said, just a frank discussion of what I've observed. I'm not telling anybody what they need to do. I'm not going to do that. I told you I'm out of the lecturing business, except for I'm strongly against the true toxic stuff that was explained to me by my brother Duncan. I don't want to get into it, but y'all know who y'all are. What y'all doing, y'all need to stop. But as far as pushback is concerned, this is why you're getting the pushback. It is what it is. Now, that's like me, and these people are going to kill me. I'm going to tell them to give me 5 minutes. Oh, hold on, real quick, because you know I can't just, they can't hold me back. Oh shoot, hold on, what they say? If I preached, okay, all right, give me 5 more. I'm gonna say, give me till 10 after, please. All right, so what was I saying? Yeah, I'm not telling anybody what they need to do with their own platform. Y'all do what y'all want to do. It's just, if you were wondering why, for those that were like, I'm seeing this stuff happening and I don't understand why. I can tell you why it's easy. It's, for me, it's easy as day to see. And I'm not saying one side is wrong and one side is right. Let me give you an example. I live in the city of Pittsburgh. In the city of Pittsburgh, they can't stand any other football team except Pittsburgh Steelers. They will literally, this city is crazy. So I have a love-hate relationship with the city of Pittsburgh. Because when it comes to football, they will literally throw the hands. That's from the hood to the suburbs over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, see, I'm always a defiant one. I don't care what you got to say or what you think about me. I've always been one that didn't feel like I had to follow the pack or follow the herd. I've always been my own man. So that's why I can come out here so vigorously and defend Stadia, even in a DM with major YouTubers, and don't blink an eye. I liked the Kansas City Chiefs when I was in high school. I gave up the Pittsburgh Steelers in the 93 playoffs because they broke my heart. And I've been a Chiefs fan ever since then. Finally, we won the Super Bowl, damn it. Except for Super Bowl, beyond Super Bowl 1, I wasn't even alive. But we finally won the Super Bowl, damn it. So it was years and years of verbal abuse, close to physical abuse, because I like the Chiefs, because I would show up in my Chiefs jersey. And if you're from out of town and you show up in different gear, they don't care for the most part. They'll heckle you unless it's Browns or Ravens gears, then that's a different story. There's been shootouts, fights, and I'm talking from people from the hood to the suburbs when it comes to these Steelers. That's how crazy they are about this. They praise the Steelers over their own damn kids and families sometimes. They praise the Steelers like it's some damn deity. With that said, if I am in Pittsburgh and I'm a Kansas City fan and I want to sit there in the middle of Fifth Avenue, that's a major street in downtown Pittsburgh. If I want to sit in the middle of Fifth Avenue and I want to have a podcast called The Kansas City Times, in the middle of the heart of the city of Pittsburgh, where I know these people are passionate about the Steelers, if somebody comes up to me and heckles me or pushes back on me, should I be surprised? So in a community where, again, and this is evidenced by the simple fact that the biggest cloud gaming content creators do content creation primarily on what? Stadia. You can't deny those facts. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. The majority of the content creators that do cloud-related content do it on Stadia. They have their groups because of Stadia. Not saying there's no purpose of doing anything else. There is. But I'm just telling you where the numbers lie. So if the overwhelming majority of the cloud gaming community is at least positive of Stadia, meaning Stadia may not be their favorite place to play, it may not even be their favorite cloud place to play, but they feel positive about Stadia. If everything that comes from your echo chamber about Stadia is negative, it's like me being a Kansas City Chiefs fan sitting in the middle of Fifth Avenue in Pittsburgh doing a Kansas City show. I can do nothing but expect backlash. All right? So I got to go because we're over 2 o'clock and I told them give me till 10 after. Hold on. Let me see something. Did these brothers start without me? All right, I got to go, y'all. But hopefully that's some great food for thought. I appreciate and love all of y'all. Again, nothing against anybody. I love Duncan, Cloud Gaming Extreme, all of them. But for those of you, and again, this is not a message to say this is what y'all need to do with y'all content. This is all suggestive. And the primary reason why I did this is because my brother Chase started off a great discussion. I felt like following it up and adding more context. And I felt like answering a question that I started to see bubbling in the community, which is, why is this happening? Why is this happening all of a sudden? I'm telling you why. I'm telling you why. So hopefully people understand why. They'll take that back and they'll strategize or do whatever they want to continue on, do whatever they want to do. But for people that have questions why, now you know why. Okay? All right, with that said, love all of y'all. Y'all have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.